Yeah, a wonderful evening to each and every one of us. Thank you for joining our show today. If you can just hear me, just let me know where you're joining from. Thank you very much. One of us, thank you for joining. I want to really appreciate everyone that has taken time to be patient enough to join us because this evening we are looking at a very important and a very sacrosanct study this evening. We're looking at a very important aspect of our lives. Though my discussion this evening is limited to some set of persons, but if you probably you still have one or two to get from it and also pass across to your friends and others out there. We're looking at over the time we'll be looking at different topics in our Tim-Osa media, and this evening we're looking at after NYSC, what next? This question is something that so many persons don't actually want to ask themselves. It's a question that a lot of persons just want to keep to themselves. They just want to, it's one thing to tell yourself that you're graduating from school, good and fine. And also, it's another thing to go and serve back home in Nigeria. It's very nice to go for your NYSC and the likes, but what do you know about the service year? Is it not because your friends they're serving, your friends they said a lot of things about NYSC? Is that not the reason why you're deciding to go for your National Youth Service Corps? So it's a question that you need to ask yourself: why do you want to go and serve? What is your it's something that is almost mandatory that you go and do in that part of the world, in Africa, while also in Nigeria. So it's something that you actually want to do. It's something that gives each and every one of us joy that we need to do in Nigeria. So you begin to ask yourself, why do I want to serve? What is the reason for me going for this 1 year? Am I going to waste? Because some persons they tell you, oh, my service year I was actually wasted. Some persons also tell you my service year was just like that. I didn't really get what I'm supposed to get in my service year because you didn't really maximize your time and every other thing. So that's the reason why we're here this evening. We want to actually trash out so many things that I think we need to know during our service year. First of all, I'm going to break it into 4 different groups. I'm going to talk about the pre-service year. After the pre-service year, I'll now talk about the camping, the 3 weeks camping, and I'll talk about the service year proper, which is the remaining months of your service, and then after the service. So we're going to take 1 hour to just run through this, and I just pray that each and every one of us we will get the best this evening. So if you're joining us, just comment where you're joining from before we begin. Thank you very much for joining. For those that are already joining, thank you for joining. So because we're looking at something very paramount, something very important, something very, very sacrosanct to each and every one of us. Probably you're planning to go for service, it is yours. Probably you're already serving, is something you need, and probably you're done serving, you're at that stage that you're confused. What should I do next? Which stage should I enter now? What step should I take? If you didn't really manage your service year very well, you discovered after service year the money you're being paid, everything is like they are all disappeared. For some, you've gathered a lot, you want to start up a business, something just come up and you no longer have access to your money any longer. You just think, that's when people now start telling you the village people, they have come and they have taken away my money. That's just on a lighter note. So it's something that you need to actually understand as an individual. Why do you want to go and serve, and what do you hope to achieve after the service year? Are you just going to leave your NYSC with just the certificate, or you are going to live with something that will actually help you later on in life. So thank you very much, Stephen Arrowo-Shegbe, for joining us from Glasgow. Thank you for joining. So if you're just joining us, tell us where you are joining from, and we are going to our technical team, they are going to post it so that others can see. So let's look at the pre-service year. When we talk about the pre-service year, this is at a time that individuals they think of what they should do during the service year. The pre-service year is the time that people tend to plan. People tend to, we have different categories anyway. We have those planning and we have those celebrating. Some are planning. Oh, thank you very much, Yinka Bolaji from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, our questions are already flooding in. So we're going to be answering all the questions, God helping us this evening. So the pre-service year is a time where we actually plan what to do during the service year. Some are planning while others are jubilating. Some are looking at the service year just drawing close. Oh, I'm going to be in stream A. I'm going to be in batch B. I'm going to be batch A stream 2. I'm going to be in batch C stream 1. Whatever batch that you're going to be after your graduation, the next thing that you should think about is my service year. What should I do? That period is a time that you need to actually sit down. What do you hope to achieve? What do you hope to get after your graduation or after the NYSC? That is the time you need to bring out your pen. You get a note. You begin to jot down. After my NYSC, I want to go for I want to go for internship. After my NYSC, I want to get a job. After my NYSC, I want to get married. After my NYSC, I want to. So during your NYSC, your pre-service year is a time that you need to actually think, which state do I wish to serve? All these things that you have actually thought about that you want to do after your NYSC, there are places where they are sellable. There are states where you know you can actually get those things very well. So those are the states that you should be looking at, and you should be telling, or I know before now you have to feel about the 4 states that you're going to be serving. So if you are thinking, okay, I want to work with so and so company, I want to do this. Okay, where should I love to go? Should I go to Abuja? Should I go to Lagos? Those are the 2 major places that a lot of persons want to actually go to. But for me, you can actually get the best out from other places where you least expected that you can get it. So that is the period that you need to go on your knees. People don't actually know this. That pre-NYSC period is the period you need to actually pray, because the decision you take during your service year has a way of affecting you after your service year. So if you get it wrong during your service year, the service year is not. I don't know why people actually look at it as if it's just a norm. It's not normal. It's a time that defines a whole lot about your life. It's a time that defines your whole being. And if you don't get it right during your service year, it means you might likely continue in that error. So this is a time that you need to sit down and think, what should I do? Where can I get it? Who will I get it from? How do I go about it? This is the period you need to ask for information. The service year even comes and they don't even know that it's time for registration. This time that you need to ask for questions. When is registration starting? Which document do I need for registration? And they begin to tell you, during the service year, what do I need? I need my shorts, my whites. I need an extra clothes that I will wear probably on Sundays. I need what I'm going to wear during the carnival day. These are the things that you need to put into serious consideration. Okay, I need some little money probably to use before they are being paid in camp, or I need other maybe I don't know what to. I'm trying to think of the right word to use. The kind of a little place that you can, or little container that you can easily put food, or that you can use to get food from the kitchen, a spoon, probably beverages that you need. When I was going for my own work, these are the things that I planned for. I looked out for those things so that when I get to my service year, it will not be something that probably will be frustrating during my service year. So after the pre-service year, Don't forget, this is the period you need to go on your knees and ask God, God, where do you want me to go and serve? Because if you miss it during your service year, if you miss the place that God has planned for you, I, for one, let me tell you my story, because this is part of our show here. We tend to tell you our story and how God actually helped us. I, for one, when my service year was gradually approaching, I spent time to actually go to God in prayers to ask God, where do you want me to serve? Where do you want me to serve? It was a very important question as at that point in my life. I kept asking God because I knew very well that my service year determines a whole lot about me. So I spent time to actually ask God, oh God, where do you want me to serve? So it was something that actually helped me. And during that period, I prayed. God did excellent things. These are the things that I would actually love to talk about so that we all will learn and we all will have great insights about what actually happened. After prayers, can you imagine? I had this urge that, okay, where you are going to serve. I remember a friend that was telling me, Tim, you are going to the north to go and serve. And others telling me, Tim, you are going. I was just relaxed because I know I've actually prayed and God will always answer the prayers because I'm his child. So he will always answer me. So after series of prayers, it got to the time that I needed to choose the state. If I remember clearly, I chose Kaduna. Then I choose is it Lagos? I choose Cross River, and I think is it Bauchi or so, one other state like that. So those are the four states I choose to go and actually serve that period. And lo and behold, when it was time to post, after I've gotten all my things and all that, yeah, I remember then, when I was even getting my things, I got them like I got SS, and I had to even probably get to borrow money to buy something just because I want to look like my maid during the service here. So after that's on a lighter note though. So after I prayed and God has answered, the very morning I remembered. Thank you very much, big sister. Thank you for that. Okay, and my very good friend, Asib, thank you very, very much for joining us. I really, really do appreciate. So during the service here, what I do, or probably during that period of assigning where you're to serve, I was just there. That I remember that morning where my friends called me, Tim, they have deployed people for service. Check where you are serving. So I just picked up my phone. I tried checking, and the network wasn't too balanced. Man, I was actually afraid because I didn't want to go that far. So when I checked, lo and behold, I was meant to go to Delta State, just a stone throw from Edo State. So I was like, I didn't choose Delta at all. What happened? That's where God came through. Delta State wasn't part of the state I chose, but I had this realization in my mind that for God to allow me to go to Delta is for a purpose, is for a reason. So when I got the information, I told my people, I have in fact everything I needed to. Oh, I think we're having some network issues. I don't know. I think one of our audience is telling us that we're having it. Also, just let me know if the network is actually clear in your end, please, so that I know what to do. Thank you very much for joining. So after the whole stuff, I discovered that my ideas about service, all I needed to get during service was becoming clearer. That now led me to go back to God to ask God, why do you want me to go to Delta State? As much as I know, I didn't actually know anybody in Delta State. So that glorious day, I picked up my things, all my bags, picked them up. I was on my way to Isieluku in Delta State. So getting to Delta State, then this is where the camping story started. I was to spend 3 weeks in camp. That 3 weeks, people have this mindset that is a period that you are meant to meet with people and you can do all sorts of nonsense. So thank you very much, Mr. Moses Osayande. Thank you for joining us. So people feel that that's the period that you can do all sorts of nonsense. So I just had to bring up my head down and begin to ask myself, why am I going to this camp? Okay, I'm to meet up with people, I'm to connect, I'm to get ideas from people, and to also impart in the life of people. So get to the service here wasn't that difficult again. The camping period, I remember entering the camp that fateful day. The first place I located was the brethren of the same faith. Let me locate them so that I can learn from those that have gone through this path. So getting there, they were happy, they received me, and I located my room, trying to settle down. Thank you very much, Ekata Ogedegbe Sarah. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for also joining. So during that period, I began to meet with some friends. In fact, I had a boy then. He's a top Nollywood actor now. He was on top my bunk, and I was down the bunk. So the guy, in fact, I discovered that whenever I say anything, this guy will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. After I begin to ask myself, why is this guy laughing? Normally I say things people don't actually laugh. So this guy was actually this guy was literally laughing when I'm talking. So I was quite scared that this guy is laughing at me or something. But at the same time, he came to me, was like, Tim, are you aware that you will be a good master of ceremony? You're going to do a great job there. That is where I discovered my talent of becoming an MC. And after the service here, I was using it. I was MC weddings, and I was doing a great job, and I was getting my money. So what am I trying to say? That connection there helped me to get a particular talent that was hidden before. So at the same time, oh, thank you very much, Sir Moses. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us this evening. Is a great man here in Scotland. Thank you for joining us, and also thank you, Okereke Izu. It's been a while. Thank you for also joining us this evening. I really appreciate. So when I discovered that I don't want to be idle during my service, my camping period, I located a place where I can make my talent useful. So I discovered that I'm a journalist. So the OBS is a place I can actually just join, and I'll bring up all my talent that I've been hiding. I can actually use them during the service here, probably that camping period. So that led me to the OBS. They did all the screening, and I was accepted to work with the OBS unit. That was one of the best decisions I took during the service here. So when people are going to Mami Market to go and spend all their money, I see that I'm in the OBS, or I'm in the hostel with my friends. So we all like, that was where I met with people who were discussing. You see somebody, well, which school are you from? I schooled in Ghana. Where are you from? I schooled in so place. Where are you from? I studied this course. So that was a kind of a first outing, like getting to meet with people of different tribe, the people of different religion, people of different knowledge, people that came from different parts of the world, just to be confined in one place for 3 good weeks. So if I don't utilize that period very well, it means I have failed. So that period, you get to connect with people, you get to meet with people. You don't have to be shy about it. You meet with people, discuss with them, let them know you, let them know what you're made of. You can even get somebody that's, in fact, I respect a lot of artists that come to the camp. During that period, they begin to draw, and they bring out their talent. And before you know it, they are recognized. One of my friend some time ago drew just painted the governor of Kogi State, and the guy is doing excellently well. So people tend to bring out their talent during the service here. My graphics designer in Tim-Osa Media, the person, in fact, if you saw my last post before now, he just did some sketch for me recently. In fact, I love it. Do you know what the guy used? He used pieces of clothes that has been thrown away. He used it to I call it draw now, or mold my face, and that's excellently okay. This same boy, when he was in his service, in fact, he was, carnival people want to print shirts, they want to do all sorts of things. He was busy printing shirts for people. So that's the period that you need to bring out all the stuff that is inside of you. That is the period that those that are nurses, medical doctors, they go to the NYSC clinic to also put their own knowledge into use. So you don't need to be idle. What's it called now? We have the OBS, those working the medical people. We also have the Red Cross and other people that are working in the camp. You also have fun. Don't forget, you need to also relax your head. It's very, very important because you have to have fun during your service here too. That is why they bring up different activities. Don't look at it that it is boring. That period, you need to also do the work of God. I remember very well that with myself and my team, we can be under the tree when others are playing, relaxing. We are praying, we are calling on God and say, "Oh God, our service here, make it meaningful." In fact, I'm speaking with you from my heart and what I experienced during my service here that probably caused some changes that probably why God is helping me today. We literally prayed during our service here because we knew that was a period that God has to just come through. If after the service here, two of our people in that group got married, ladies, and the guys, they are doing excellently well today. So we get to meet with people. We settled our destiny during that camping period. Let me tell you what happened. Because I was working with the OBS, I knew that everybody working with most person working with the OBS, the most time they take them to the city to go and serve. That one is almost normal. Not in all states. So I had the opportunity of probably having an idea of where people will be sent to. So I quickly rushed down to somewhere. I just told somebody, I said, "Man, this is where I might likely be taken to go and serve and all that, to go and do my PPA." I was literally happy that, they are taking me there and all that. So I didn't know that God has a separate plan for me. Yeah, I have a reason why I said God has a separate plan for me. After everything, after discussing, after planning, okay, when I get there, this is how I'm going to start on my life and all that. The day that they gave out your PPA letter, it was like a shocker to a lot of persons. When I collect my letter like this, I saw Urobo Modern College, Warri. Like I was literally paralyzed. For some minutes, I was just looking at it and tears almost came out from my eyes. Like they are taking me to a school to go and serve. I was expecting a media house as a journalist to probably put I think I've worked with the OBS, so I want to actually do some work. I want to go to the field and practice my journalism. But God had a separate plan for me. And I had never, in fact, Warri was the least place I was thinking I could ever go and serve. I was thinking, in fact, my plan was Asaba. That's where they are taking me to. So when I saw Warri, I had to relax myself. I told myself, it's normal. I have to go. So I jumped to the bus on our way to Warri. When we got to Warri, the brethren received us, and in fact, I was not happy because that was not part of the plan. I was actually angry because it wasn't something I bargained for. If you are following me, in fact, I'm done with the camping period. That camping period, you meet with people, you prepare for your PPA, we prepare for your posting. Sorry, you win souls for God. Is very important. If you have fun in camp, you put your expertise into use. Those are the things that at that period, I wasn't used to staying in the hostel. I've never done it. Staying in a hostel. So staying in the hostel, that in fact, when I actually use the water, I will scratch my body for 10 minutes. I'll be busy because not that the water was bad, because I wasn't used to that environment. At times when I want to take my bath, I'm irritated with what is happening. Like I don't like after taking my bath, coming to the room and seeing people changing. I don't like it. So I love my privacy. So that now taught me another lesson entirely, like another separate lesson. So I had to start telling myself, this thing is something that I have to get used to. So after that, getting to Warri, the service year started proper. I met with the brethren. I was meant to stay in the church lodge, but I must say, because I'm not used to the normal what's it called now? The normal camping life, the normal staying in the hostel and all that. The first night, mosquito dealt with me very well. So, in fact, that was the beginning of my tragic story. What's the meaning of this? Why am I sent here so that mosquito come and deal with me? But down within my heart, I know that one of the reasons why God has sent me to this place to come and serve is for his work. So during that period, I had an encounter with somebody. In fact, this person, the next day, I went to my, before I get to the person, I have to bring some things up too. The next day, I went to my PPA. When I got to my PPA, the first day I stood in front of the school. I said, no, this is a no-go area. I can't serve in this school. I can't serve there. So I actually went there. I just went to the vice. I said, ma, please, can you reject me? She said, why? I said, sorry, I can't serve you. She said, the director said, I will reject every other person, but because you said it with your mouth, I'm not going to, you are serving here. After all pleading, she didn't reject me. For like 2 weeks, I was busy going up and down. Please, she did not reject me, so I had to accept it. Glory to God. I was meant to serve under a woman that fears the Lord. In fact, that was like the beginning of my own success story too, because she was there to actually guide me on what to do. She gave me all the freedom I needed. In fact, and the students, they were excellent. They cooperated with me, and when I'm teaching, they listened. It was time to impart in the life of the students. So, in fact, till date, I have a WhatsApp group that I communicate with some of the students. Those ones that their head were actually good. I have a WhatsApp group I created for them that we normally discuss. Why? I want to keep the communication going. Let them see how their teacher probably is doing well, so that they can also tell their part. Let's take the mind of the youth off the streets that, oh, education doesn't pay any longer. Education is still paying. So that's the reason why I did that. And I tell you, all the students in that group today, they are all in higher institution and they are doing well. So that service year, it was a time that I had to start planning. Now, the post-service, what will happen? I started planning when I was still serving. And I had to get a note. I started planning, what do you want to do? I didn't want to work with somebody, like getting an official job to say, okay, I'm now like an office person carrying bag. No, I didn't want to. So I'm an engineer. I know how to repair laptops. So I just started getting some few instruments. I was already asking some person, where can I get store around here? I want to rent a store. I want to start up my engineering stuff. So because I wasn't having the plan of going back home, good or bad, I want to remain there. At the same time, I was still telling myself I have to start planning if I had to probably go for my master's, or I have to. I know as at that time, settling down wasn't part of the story. When I'm settling down, getting married wasn't part of the story, because that's where a lot of persons, they are missing it. They just feel, for the ladies, after NYSC is marriage. You have your future. Apart from marriage, you have your future to plan. If you just base your own head on the 33,500 or so that they are paying, you have failed. Because a time will come that money will no longer. I've seen cases whereby ladies, they are crying, they want to receive that money. That money will not come again. You are likely to be that servant that was given a little, or maybe 2 pounds or 2 naira to double. You went to hide it because you have been paid money. You need to reproduce something more that you can easily fall back to after NYSC. Something that you can easily fall back to and you are not afraid. You can easily tell yourself you are doing excellently well during your service year. So after service year, you are still doing well. You are not moved by what is happening. So that was the period I was actually saving. Yeah, I was saving. Then I began to meet with people. Leadership as well sets in. I met with people in the school that I was working, building strong relationship, building long-lasting relationship. The Lord that was staying, I met with people that we still communicate today, building a long-lasting relationship. The church I was attending, I met with people building a long-lasting relationship. Something that tomorrow I can easily tell myself, yes, this is what I got in my service here. I have a lot of, this is where people are so missing it. Get photographs, snap pictures that you can use for sake of memory. At times, when I reflect back at the years where I was, the period I was serving, I'm happy because in my own little way, I made impacts. You might not understand, I made impact. So I met with people, then I started planning for the future ahead of me. That is where I met with people. I started looking for people of like minds. Who are those that probably want to remain in Warri here? You know very well. People from the north, they don't want to remain with a place where they served. So automatically, I met with this, my friend, Ijabla Pap Kapayos. When we met during the service year, he happens to be my general coordinator, happens to be one of his AGCs. So being the AGC, which is assistant general coordinator, you know, is this kind of, he dishes out like instruction, not even information. He will tell you, do this, and he expects you to do it. So I, for one, I want us to discuss. I want us to talk about issues. How are we going to go about it? You don't just come and give me instruction, but rather we deliberate. That is the way I feel leadership is. His own is give out the instruction as a leader, but I always tell him, no, it's not like that. So we kept having issues. We kept having serious issues. Like, we always having issues during our service year. I remember a particular time where we're supposed to go for rural, we're supposed to go for rural rugged anyway. And I wasn't in Warri. I was in Benin doing my would I say my father's business. I was in Benin doing my personal business. So when he called me, he was like, bro, Tim, where are you? We're on our way to Sapele for rural rugged. I said, okay, I will join you soon. I was really ready to go, but I think I had issues with my transportation that day or something. So in fact, I was on my way. He kept calling, and immediately I got to Sapele. This young man called me and told me, he was like, Tim, go back to where you're coming from. We don't need you any longer. I was touched. I said, man, that's serious. So that I just told myself, I said, no, this kind of person is not somebody that I should work with. I don't want to even connect nothing. But if you know me very well, lo and behold, he happens to be the closest person to me right now. Why was it like that? It got to a point where this is where the story became is now somehow sweet. It got to a time where he was like he needed to go for a vigil. I think is he Obiaruku also or Ogeli. So he needed to go for, he was invited for that vigil, so he needed me to represent him. He just called me, hello GC, please can you represent me in Ogeli, or I think in Obiaruku, can you represent me? I told him like face to face, sorry, I can't go, I can't represent you. So he knew very well that I loved Suya. So he was like, okay, bro, Tim, don't worry, I'll get Suya for you. Okay, let's go together. I said, okay. I just reluctantly, okay, let's go together. On our way going, that was when he was trying to tell me, about Tim, I've gotten a scholarship to study for my master's in the UK. I said, what? You got a scholarship? Yeah, no, he just said it out of mistake. And I was like, you got a scholarship? So, I think, how did you do it? Tell me more. So he kept telling me the things that he did and all that. Okay, I said, oh, that's fine. So when we got to the VG, I had the strength to pray more because I was already having a definition for my future. So if this young man can do it, it means I can also do something with my life along that same path, because I can't just remain here after the service year. So I started. Oh, thank you very much, Sarah, for that. That's a wonderful one. He said, everybody should always be ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn. It's a process to greatness. That's absolutely correct. You have to see, during this period is a time that you have to learn, unlearn, you have to relearn, as she has rightly said. It's very, very important you do all those things, because if you don't plan during your service year, that's why they always tell you, he that fail to plan to fail. So if you don't plan during your service year, you are already planning to fail after your service year. You don't expect to just wake up one morning and they will tell you, oh, come on. Some persons get it anyway, come and resume this office. They get the offer like that. But those of us from the middle class, you don't expect to see it, because it's not always there like that. So you have to toil all through the night. You have to think all through the night. You have to look at where people, the gap, the life of people, what do they need? And thank God for somebody like Sarah that is commenting now. She's one person, she might not know, but she's one of those I respect so much, because she maximized her service here. In fact, I can say this on this live video. She served in Nasarawa State. Until date, she has head Nasarawa State. the Nasarawa State host stage. When I mean host stage, in fact, she's doing excellently well with her fashion business in Nasarawa State. But she wasn't in Nasarawa State, in fact, or she in Lagos or so or something. But is that Lagos or Edo State? One of the state, I forgot to say about that. So, but when she got to her service here, she was able to look at the environment. These people, what do they need? What are they lacking in this environment? How can I contribute my own quota to the life of the people in this environment? She started off something, and today she's doing excellently well. So, in case you are around Abuja, Nasarawa, and other environs, you need a good fashion designer. Yes, I'm part of the her brand ambassador. So, if you need a good fashion designer, both for male and female wears, you can contact Sarah Kata Fashion. Man, she's good. When I mean she's good, she's good. So if you want, you can check her out on Facebook, on her Facebook page. So she's doing excellently well now in that part of the world. So if you can also get it outside that area too, and she can ship it to you. She's doing well, so she can actually do that. So this lady maximizes her time during the service here. I've seen a couple of people that also maximize their time during their service here. Your service here is not a period that you need to begin to frolic all around. You need to carry one lady, carry this one, carry that one. No, that's not part of the service here. In quote, I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your service here, but you should be able to do something good with your own life during your service here. Plan your future. What do you want? That is the same period that you need to unfriend and friend. You need to leave. There are some friends that you need to let go as at that time. If you don't, if they go with you to the next stage, they might be disastrous. If you allow them to go with you to the next stage, it will be a disaster. So you need to leave them in that stage. You should know the difference between friends and acquaintances. Those you actually call friends and those you communicate with on a norm. So you should be able to know some of these things. If not, because you are just trying to carry everybody along. At the time will come where you get very tired and you might not be able to continue the journey. You might not be able to carry them along again. So during your service here, learn to save. Money management is very, very important. Money management. If you don't have money that you save during your service here, you might end up becoming a beggar after your service here. So that is the period you need to actually gather your money. Keep it. Save it. And in fact, mine then, I opened an account where I was just putting the money. I refused to collect ATM for that account. The account was just there. The money was just there. If you have questions, please, you can send it across so that we can as well answer some of those things. Okay, when do we start planning for our lives before NYSC or post NYSC? Thank you very much, Stephen Aroshigbe, for that question. Planning for our life, in fact, it starts before, during the pre-NYSC. That is the period you start planning for your life, because it doesn't take overnight. You don't great man doesn't just happen over the night. No, it happens throughout a couple of time. You have toiled, you have sleepless nights. Some of the people you are seeing today that is doing well, they have had countless sleepless nights. They have done something that even you begin to imagine. Are you sure they actually did all these things? They have done some things that you might not even want to think of, just because they want to actually something that is legitimate, something okay, just because they want to be great in life. So if I am doing what you are doing once, I am doing it 2, 3, 4 times, you don't expect us to get the same results. Mine will be more solid because I have tested it and it's working out for me. So during your service year proper, one, build integrity for yourself. Build where you are working. Don't ghost it. That's where people miss it. They want to ghost their service year. I don't want to go to say, I don't want. You're not wasting it, because God that is taking you through that process, He wants you to learn a lot. He wants you to learn. So you have to sit down under somebody and learn what God wants you to learn during your service year. Even though you are taken to the weakest of the weakest school, you are taken to the worst school ever in that state, learn what God wants you to learn in that place. So you sitting down or laying under somebody will help you tomorrow when you are already probably practicing your you are already in your field, or you're already doing what you intend doing after NYSC. So that period, build friendship, build a long-lasting friendship during your service year. When I mean build a long-lasting, because you have you have the higher class, you have the lower class, you have the middle class, you have different type of classes during your service year. That is where you need to meet with people of different religion. People, in fact, all through my life, because I grew up in the south of Nigeria, I've always thought that anybody from the north is an Hausa man. I've always thought that you can never see a Christian from the north. So when I saw Northerners being Christians, I was amazed. Are you a Christian? You are a Northerner? So that as well changed my mentality. That as well changed a whole lot of things about me. So you got to think. So we also have people from the north that are not Hausas. So I learned a lot during that period, during my service year. I met with people. I was offended. I had to let go. In fact, that period, if I'm not mistaken, I did about 7 online businesses that failed. I did one that I invested up to about 300,000 naira. It crashed. I did other one that I introduced almost all my family members, and at last it failed. So that is the period you need to at least plan for investments too, because after NYSC, money is no longer flowing. How do you hope to survive? How do you hope to survive? So if you want to have a good life after your NYSC, you start planning for it before NYSC and during NYSC. If you miss it at that time, you want to start planning after NYSC, man, others will be running, you still be trekking. Others will be flying, you still be thinking of the next step to take. So there's no wrong time to start planning, but one of the wrong time to start planning is when it is time for you to start reaping. That is when you want to start planning. Man, you have missed it. So that particular time where you have to during your NYSC, during the main NYSC, also you have to be faithful to your duty, to your place where you are assigned to. I, for one, I tried my best to be very, very faithful. But though you cannot be 100% faithful, I know, but I tried. In fact, though I know somebody, Papa was very, 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 I mean, everybody that very, 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 because he's always on duty, he's in time and all that. But I, for one, I was just there. I go to work when it's my turn to teach, just go to the class. I want to be like my own professor, go there, teach the student, I'm off. But the students were actually learning a whole lot from me. So as at that time, I was able to build a community. I was able to build a set of friends. So when it was not time for me to, after my NYSC, I think I finished my NYSC August 2020. Yeah, August 2020. Yeah, that was when I finished my NYSC. So when I finished my NYSC August 2020, I told myself I wasn't going home. Yeah, if I the day I collected my NYSC, probably before that time, I had some prayer partners. In fact, we're always praying, oh God, our future after NYSC can never waste. We want to come out great. In fact, we're praying. That's why you don't underestimate the power of prayers. During that period that you are feeling all hope gone, that is the time that you need to remain in the place of prayers. When things aren't working out, that is prayer. You need to, if you are praying and it's as if heaven is locked, keep praying. Yeah, keep praying. When you are praying and nothing is working out, keep praying. Keep praying is very, very important. During that period where things aren't okay, that is where you need to call on God the more. Thank God. Look at what Ekata said. He said, okay, let me display what she said. I think we're having, I said, there isn't a shortcut or follow God's direction by depending on him in place of prayers, his word, seeking advice and worshiping him, etc. They serve as guideline. Very important. Very important. Always communicate with him. Always communicate with him. Whatever you want to do, learn to always communicate with God. Always communicate with him. Ask him what is the next step. What do you want me to do? How do I go about it? He will always speak to you. He will always reveal himself to you. So that time, I didn't know what I was to do, but I already have the, okay, since my friend will be leaving to the United Kingdom, I think I have to start planning towards that angle too. So when it was now time for me to start planning, he was already, if I remember the day I just have to actually share this. The day he left, he was like, he just called me, Tim, Alpha, my flight is so day. I said, okay, that's fine. So that day came, and in fact, I was at home that I was thinking, Papa, we will be flying already now. It's already in the air. God, when will you do? I was tapping into that grace that, God, I know you're going to do this particular thing. And that day actually came. Even when he got to the UK, I called him. I said, Papa, please, can you just show me the environment? He was really showing me the environment, and I was just looking. He didn't know what I was doing, but I was just there tapping grace. I was just telling myself, I see myself in the spirit. I see myself moving around the streets. I see myself doing this. I was doing all those things. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just literally talking. He didn't understand what I was doing. And I so much love the fact that he was so open to tell me so many things about what he was doing. So when it was that time for me to actually start, when I started my application, I think around August. So please, I might not want to go deep into this story about how I did my application and everything, because I'm going to do a full series on it, the journey so far. I was supposed to do it last week, but I had some issues. So now I'm planning probably next week or the upper week. So if you are ready to hear the story and everything, that's the time that you need to actually come, and I'm going to share the journey so far, how I did my application, all the hurdles, how I came out victorious, and how good at the end. So I'm also having a show tomorrow by 8:30. I'm invited to also speak about the partial funding, what happened, how did I get it, and how was I able to complete the tuition fee payment. And that seems not easy, but God saw me through. So the after the NYSC, now is the post NYSC. The post NYSC is a reflection of what you did during the NYSC. The post NYSC is a reflection of what you have intended to do during the service year. So when it was now time for me to, I didn't want to go home to say, okay, let me go and stay in my house. No, I finished August. September, I was still in Warri. Already establishing some businesses in Warri. October, I was like, Tim, I think you have to start up something with your life. So I started applying for schools. It was during the period of application for schools that October that I received a call that, oh, Tim, your sister just delivered. So I just told them in my place of work, or where I'm staying, I said, okay, let me just be rush home for like a week. Let me go and say hi to our new baby. So that was what took me out of Warri. I was in Benin when admission started. Because I started applying when I was in Warri around that October, early October. So I was in Benin. I was still like, okay, I still have a week or so to spend. Admission started flooding in. I applied for about 5 schools, and I got admission for those, I think about 4 schools. So when admission started flooding in, I started thinking of what I quickly called my friend, Papa, I've gotten admission in this school. He was like, okay, that's fine. Are you going to pick it up? I said, I don't know. You have to advise me. So he was busy with his academy. So he didn't really have time to say, okay, do this, do that. I said, okay, no problem. I'll think of what to do. I went to my parents to tell them the situation of I've gotten admission and all that. And they were ready to give me all the needed support. They will leave the rest story for another day. So after the whole thing, what am I trying to say? In fact, the next trip I made to Warri was around early the 2021 to go and pack my things. Those that were staying together, like those were in the same law. They were like, Tim, you said you want to go and look at your sister's baby, and you're coming to pack yours. I said, yes. The story has changed, so I don't need to. But I didn't actually tell them that I have probably I've gotten something. I need to leave Nigeria or something. I think it was after I've left that they started hearing, and I started telling some of them, okay, I've got and all that. So what am I trying to say? The life you live, or your planning that you did during your service year, will reflect after your service year. If you don't plan during your service year, that's when you begin to rigmarole after your service year. You just be running about, you don't know what to do. If you want to work in a company during your service year, get your CV prepared. During your service year, all the recommendation needed, get them prepared. At the same time, during my service year, in fact, that was when I went to collect my certificate from school. That's when I thank God for this remembrance. That was when I did my international passports. That was when I got all my references. That was when I got my transcript. During my service years, I was serving. The money I was being paid, I was using it to go and get all these things one after the other. I didn't know I was going to travel, but I was just getting them down because I know that one day opportunity will come where I might be needing all these things. And when the opportunity actually came, in fact, I was happy I had them already. I didn't. The day I went to collect my certificate, the woman said, "Are you aware you are the first person coming to collect your certificate in the Faculty of Arts in University of Benin for this your set, like the full Faculty of Arts?" So I have all my documents. If you want to work, you get your CV, take it to the first reading, take it to the second reading. Other persons should look at it. So for errors during your service year, start sending it to companies. Start. If you want to practice, you want to go for internship during your service year. Start applying for internship. If you want to marry during your service year, start looking for wife. Start looking for husband, because that is what you want to do. So the time you need to plan is during your service year. That will go a long way to help you, and it will go a long way to also help me as an individual. So your service year actually matters a lot. Our time is fast spent already. I've spent about 52 minutes already, so we just have barely 8 minutes to go, so that we can actually round up this show. If you have any question, you can just quickly drop it in the comment section so that we can as well address the question this evening. So don't forget, I said, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe to either our YouTube channel or follow us on our Facebook page. So don't also forget, during your service year, that is the time you need to develop yourself. It's very, very important. Your communication, the manner of communication, the way you relate with people. Your service year at the time that you need to do that. Your dressing, your service year. I will not be ashamed to actually say this. I learned dressing majorly during when I was in school. When I was still in, I was still in school, and thank God for Ogedegbe Sarah. I remember there was a day I went to class today. I have to say this, yes, so that every one of us will learn. I went to class today with a particular clothes. The next day, I went to the same class with another class with the same clothes. Sarah was like, "Tim, was it not the clothes you wore yesterday?" I've known Sarah for the past 9 to 10 years now, so she's somebody that's very close to me. So like, "Was it the same clothes you wore yesterday?" I said, yeah, that's simply like what? She now said, no, you don't do like that. So she now told me on what to do. So today, I think since that time, I'm not sure I've made that mistake again. I'm not sure. So during your service year, you learn your dressing. During your service year, take courses online. You know, that's when you see they tell you your customer service relationship, HMRO. I was about to say HMROC. Okay. You take courses on human resource. You take courses, different courses. Take them online. To go for physical classes, mentorship program during your service year. Go for seminars. Go for different online meetings that you know will benefit you. Join different clubs that will be of great impact to you and your destiny. Go different events, attend event that will help you learn to. If you're already a prepared big man, so learn to behave like one. Take trainings online is very important. Go for conferences. It's very important to do all those things during your service year. So if you because you know, as a core member, you have the leverage of doing all these things almost for free. After NYSC, if you want to take some of these things, you have to pay huge amount of money to do them. So don't be saying that, oh, if all these courses I want to take, do I need them? My friend, all the courses I took during my service year, today they are in my CV. I use them. So you will need them tomorrow in life. So don't just throw them off the bin. Don't just think you don't need them. Others they are doing it. They are paving waves. Others are setting destiny right for themselves. You are just there looking. You are just there jumping from one boy to another, jumping from one girl to another. No, that's not the reason why you are serving. Your service here is a preparatory ground for your future. It's a preparatory ground for that destiny you have always aimed at. It's a preparatory ground for that life that you wish to have tomorrow. If you want to have a blessed family, your service here is a time that you need to plan for that family that you wish tomorrow. So if you don't plan for all those things, you might in turn begin to fail in different areas and in different phases. So it's my next prayer that we all will get it right during our service here. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. So your service here is very important, just the same way your future is important to you. Take it as a very important time of your life. Take it as a time that you need to, if you might meet with your destiny helper during your service here. If not for the advice that probably I got from Pius during my service here, which is also Papka, I don't think there's some things I'm doing today, I might not be able to do it. So I got the advice. He told me, okay, this is how I did it. Although mine wasn't on scholarship, but at least I was able to get something. And today, if you ask me, it was coincidental we met in the same city. He didn't know until the last minute I was to travel. He was like, Tim, what's the name of your school again? I told him, he was traveling. So that same school, I saw that school a few days ago. We're in the same city, and we that's how we met ourselves here again. And thank God that we actually did, because today we are best of friends, and we are doing well by the grace of God. So we need to actually put these things into serious consideration. Don't allow your service here to slide. Don't just waste it the way others are wasting their service here. If you don't plan during your service here, tomorrow, after you've collected your certificate, you will go out there. You will know that that's when reality will set on you. That's when you will see when they say favor market, you know that there's favor market if you plan during your service here. If you don't plan during your service here, it's labor market, original one. So you have to plan, replan, unplan, plan again, so that you get the best out of your service here. And for now, I'll have to draw the curtain here so that I can have the period to also replay this thing over and over again, so that others can hear, those probably that are not here today, so that they can also hear and also listen. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We've had a glorious time. If you have your question, you can drop it in the comment section. I promise to reply and also answer you. And lastly, don't forget the God factor all through this journey. If you want to be successful and be great in life, don't forget to hold God, hold him strong, because him alone has your destiny in his hands. So if you hold God tight, if you have a good relationship with God, then you are good to go. Thank you very much, Moses Sayende. He said potential youth corpers should see the service here as a year of destiny redefinition. God bless you, sir, for that. A year of destiny redefinition. So for now, we'll have to draw the curtain here. Thank you for joining us this evening. And I guess, and I hope that you've had a lovely time in Tim-Osa Media Studio. I decided to do it for just 1 hour, so that we can replay it, so that others can also hear probably during the week. For now, we want to say thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again, probably same time, but same social media handles next week. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, all my friends that joined. Bye-bye.